Hello, hello, everybody. I'm so glad to have you with me today. And we've got another wonderful event today. We are doing a theme of pollinators. So, there's a lot of insects that are pollinators. So, this was kind of, we love our bugs and our fun little things like that. And so many of them are really important to us, right? So, that's what our theme is today. And our spotlight presenter who came up with that theme today is Kim from Crafting with Kim. And so we appreciate that. Kim does a lot of she does a lot of work with polymer clay, and it's so fun to get to see what she does and the different things that she comes up with. And so it's just always a great thing to see what people are doing. So I have got to get over here to where we can see our comments, and I'm streaming today both on Facebook and YouTube. The event is in the Facebook group, The Crafty Bunch. And so if you like to be able to see everything all in one spot, that is a great place to be, because you can just stay in the group and all of the things are shared into there. And so all you have to do is refresh from one presenter to the next. And so I just have to do another couple of things here. I don't see my comments here, so hang on one second. Don't know what I did. I've lost one of my comment windows. There we go. Got it. Okay, so thanks for getting me sprinkled in there, Mary. I appreciate that. And we are good to go. Let me get situated in my seat. Seems like no matter how I feel like I'm ready, always when time comes, I'm sitting here getting situated in my seat. So today yesterday we made a little box like this. This isn't the one we made, but it was one of these boxes that pop up and have all the floral in them. I thought I had the one sitting here that I made, but that was my sample. I took the other one in the other room. So there's Cheryl with us. She was just on before. Wendy, welcome. Hey, Sue. And Terry's here. So thanks for being here, you guys. So this box today is actually called it's another pop-up thing, and this one is actually called a Tuxedo Card, and they've been around for a long time. I haven't done one in a long time, and I thought that this would be the perfect opportunity to do that with. Hey, Cheryl. And so this is going to be just another one of these kind of cards that has some movement and a little bit more fun, right? So I am going to pop us down here onto the desktop so that we can see what's going on here. There we go. So I actually have things cut. I have a lot of things already cut and ready to go. And I will tell you as we go along about them. Oh my goodness. Talk about being ready but not ready. So here, this piece of paper is 4 by 10.5, and somewhere let's see. Ta-da! Oh my goodness. I looked over, I'm like, where's my notes on where to score them? Okay, phew. Crisis averted once again. So we are going to take this, and I just put this dimension in here so that we can have that for our it'll be hidden in the little part we're going to glue. Hey, Kim, there's our spotlight presenter for the day. So let me see here. We are going to score this, and now I got this dirty part. Let me see. Okay, that should be okay. That's going to be on our scored part. The problem, I love doing some some distressing or getting some inky edges. And sometimes the problem is it gets on my fingers, and then this is what happens. It also gets on my papers. So anyway, so today we're going to score this at 2.5 and 5 and 7.5 and 10. Oh, look at that. It got right out of the way of there. Okay, so that's all we need for now. Let me see. I don't think well, I am going to need to score this in a minute another time. Actually, I'm not going to score it. It's too confusing and it's too hard to really get your measurements right when you're scoring this. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Is that a little bit bigger for you? Who knows? I never know if you really want to see me or not. But anyway, it'd be easier to see if it's a little bit bigger. So now we're just going to fold these over and give them a good crease. And just fold all 4 of them. And now what we're going to do is we're going to measure down about 1 inch. If we see our ruler, there it is. So we're just going to take our ruler, and from one of our, and this is going to be the center. This time we are going to put our seam in the very back. Now yesterday we put it at the side, so if you saw it in the back, you know, you didn't see it. But I think today we'll go ahead and put that in the back. Oh, wait a second. Let's not. Let's put it over here. Let's put it on this side. You know, let's put it in the back. Nobody's going to see the back anyway once we get all the goodies in there. Okay, so now let's just measure down 1/2 inch. And today, following me is going to be, who did I put? Lisa from Lisa's Craft House. Now, I am just using today a light colored cardstock for this. And we'll talk about that in a second. Let's see, where's my little scissors? What have you guys been doing? Okay, so I eventually am going to get some bees on this project, okay? And so we'll talk about bees today. So does anybody have any idea? What's your guess as to how many bees there are? Does anybody know? How many bees do you think there are in the world? I want to see what you think. And I'm going to be watching. I don't have a prize, but I want to know what you think. Now we're just going to cut this down to this little mark we made. And then we are going to fold it from here to here. Now it would be easier if you had something to score it on, but doing a diagonal score, you know, I could just do it like this. I'm just going to use my ruler. Push that out of the way. I'm just going to run a mark across here. It's not going to be like scoring where it's into the, you know, so you get a deeper score. But this will give me a better start to my fold, right? Except I need it to go the other direction. And you know, I've told you, you want to score, your little ditch needs to be the way that you're folding it away from you. So let's put this on here. Okay, so did anybody come up with yeah, species. Okay, so we've got a couple of people say 22. Oh my gosh. Wendy says 1 million. Terry says 2 million. Any other guesses? Deborah says 2 trillion. Oh, Nora says she's allergic to him. Oh my goodness, you guys. Yeah, that's not fun, is it, Nora? Okay, so now we've got that. So we've just got that. You can just, let's see, can you hardly, you can just see a little bit. So that just gives me a better, you know, area to fold. And we're going to fold that like just away from us. So it's gonna fold towards the front of the card. You know, I don't like that. Let me get out this. This is an easy, because when you've got a paper trimmer that you can use the little groove where your blade goes to use as a scoring tool. Okay, it's easy because now I've got this little guide wire thing and I can line it up to my place that I already marked, and that's going to be a lot easier. I just hate to get it to where it's going to be all wonky and crooked, so we'll just use this. Okay, and then I'll just get a lot better fold, right? I mean, who wants a wonky fold? How many bees in the world? Oh, yeah, I mean, how many species? Oh, good catch, Kim. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, good catch. You use an epi. No, yeah, I can imagine you have one of those around all the time, right, Nora? I actually don't. I think I might have gotten a bit of a bee sting once, and I'm not really even sure. We were outside and there was a bunch of bees, and then all of a sudden my ear like really kind of didn't feel the greatest, and it was kind of a weird feeling, and I'm not so sure I didn't get a little bit of a sting, but I always had wondered if I was allergic to them or not. Okay, so now we just fold those down like that. See, you could already see how our shirt is coming together. Isn't that cool? Yes, Deborah, you're right. There's 20,000 different species. Did you look that up? Of known species. And it says that scientists are actually coming up with, they're finding new ones all the time, which I thought that was really interesting. You know, you don't think about all of the things not being found yet, right? You'd think we would know, except for plants and things in areas that we don't see. So I mean, I guess I can see how that would be. Okay, and now we're going to put in our mechanism. Now today our little mechanism is going to be a little piece that's 4.5 by 1 1/4. Okay, and now we are just going to, man, I feel like I'm flip-flopping tools and everything all around today. We are just going to, let me think about this. We're going to score this at 1/2 inch, and the only reason I'm thinking about it is because if I get it right, I'll have my little measurement glued down and nobody will ever see it, whether they're looking inside the card or not. So 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch there on that end, and just fold them down and give them a good crease. And now what we're gonna, and go ahead, and this is my tip, go ahead and kind of give this paper a little bit of a curve. Wait, did I curve it the right way? No. Curve it so you've got your little things folded here. So let's make it go this way, because we're going to fold it, we're going to glue it down here, and it needs to be about, it's going to have to fold flat, right, when we fold the card. And so you want this to be pretty flat in here, and put it down, oh, maybe about 1/4 inch from where the bottom of your little corner thing falls. And so you want it to lay pretty flat, but not so flat that it, I mean, we've already given this a little bit of a bend, and so that's going to help it remember that that's what it wants to do. So we'll just put a little bit of glue there, but you want it to lay pretty flat when you get your card down, because you're going to have stuff in it anyway. It's going to have more than this on the inside. So, and you can use, you could use some red liner tape, whatever you want, glue, but you need for it to stick, because we're going to have some other things sticking to it, right? So let's go ahead and let's let that rest a second. And while that is finishing up, we're going to make our decorative panels for the front of this. Okay? So we've got 2 pieces here, and they are 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. Oh, I can't believe, you can almost see that easier the way I'm holding it up here than I can read it. That's kind of, that's funny. Handy, that's handy. I can read it better looking at it on my monitor than looking at it here. So 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. And I've only made 2 of these. Now the reason I've only made 2 is because we're going to decorate the front panel. Now, and I'm not going to use them on the back. If I had dark cardstock or darker to write on, I would make a light color. I would make 2 more of these and make them a light enough color that I could write on them. Because when we're done with this, just like yesterday, our one we made yesterday, so we could write on the back, that's what we want this to be. We want this to be able to be written on the back. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead now and glue this together. So so it'll fold flat, and it's kind of, there we go. I should have used a bone folder and made it really, really flat. And Deborah says no, she didn't look that up. She just loves bees. She already knew. Hey Angie, hello, how are you? Yes, 1 out of every 4 bites of food. Let me see if that's what I had another little tidbit of info that was something sort of along the same lines as that. Let's see, what did it say? Now this one says they're responsible for pollinating 1/3 of the food we eat. Now I know Deborah likes to have a lot of homegrown things and organic things. So she's right on top of some of that info. Okay, so now you can see this has got this curve going on in here, and it'll lay flat, but it'll make a curve. And so now then we can, when we get ready to add in our goodies, we can glue things to the back. We can glue on both sides of this, and we can glue on the front, right? So we'll let that dry. We'll set that off to the side to dry. Now what we're going to do on this is we want to mark, let me think about this for a second. We're gonna open up one of those little lapels. We're gonna put this where it needs to go. So you can see it's got just a tiny bit. It's left enough for about not an eighth, more like probably a 1/16 of an inch of that you can see around. And so we need to just make a tiny mark where the bottom of the lapel is. See, I've just made a tiny mark. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut just a little below it, because we'll be able to still have, we want it a little bit lower, smaller, whatever. And I'm going to start lower than my little ticky mark, which you can't hardly see now. So there's my little mark, but we are going to go up to the corner, okay? We're still going to get the point of the corner where it already is, and just trim that. Now take it, and on your other piece, flip it over. Oh, you guys. Okay, I got to think about this. Okay, so yes, flip it. Flip it, people, flip it. So that you've got it going the right direction, and then just go ahead and just go along the same thing, and then you've got both of them that will be matching. Okay, and so let's go ahead and we will put these on. We'll adhere these. Isn't that pretty paper? This was from some Close to My Heart paper. It was a pack maybe from last year, and it was called, I think I had the branding strip here. I think it's called Sweet as Honey. Shoot, I had that here. I was going to tell you. I'm pretty sure that was what the name of it was, but I don't know if you can find any of that anymore or not. Some of the things like this, you know, they sell out so quick when it's a theme that people are always fond of, and I think bees are one of those kinds of themes. Seems like we always have things we can find that are bees. We always have things that we can find that are sunflowers. So that's always a fun thing, right? Okay. Yeah, so that was actually going to be one of my questions, was how much, you know, that they pollinate our things. Okay, so now you can see by doing this, we've got our score line in the middle. You know, you've got a little bit of matting. Now, if I'd used a darker color, you know, that would be pretty too, peeking out. That'd be really pretty. But I just wanted to do it this color because I'm using my darker colors for my flowers. Okay, so now then, on this, we've got these two pieces, and these are tricky. So they're going to go here like this. They'll both fit on there. And then we're just going to trim a tiny bit off of these two. Just a teensy amount. Because you could see we had, our matting isn't real. And then I always have to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, so just two little pieces. And always these triangles, once I get them done, I'm like flip-flopping them around, like trying to figure out which way they were supposed to go. And then sometimes when I do it, it's like, wait, that wasn't right. But I think the key to that is to flip it over. You know, whoops, oops, oops. Make sure you flip it over so that you've got one going, you know, either direction. I didn't cut much off. That didn't cut much off. A little bit. It'll work. Like they say, a little dab will do ya. Okay, let's see. Nora says 80 to 90% of plants, fruits, and vegetables. 120 to 130, I'm guessing. Good question. Yeah. Okay. How long do you think that bees have been around? So I'm just going to try and get that to sort of match. For some reason now, I should have cut off a little bit more on this one, but he's okay. He's going to be fine. Okay. So now we've got the basic part of the card done. We've got this done. And so I figured that, okay, this is already, this is 5 inches wide, you guys. So we've already got this 5 inches wide. So if you were going to put this in a 5x7 card or envelope, you know, you could get it up to about here. But then you would only be able to have your flowers going over to the sides. Now, in the US, you can send a 6x9 inch envelope. You know, as long as it's kind of flattish, you know, it's still a first class item, right? And so you're not going to have extra postage unless it weighs more. And so by doing if you plan that you could get it like in a 6x9, then you're going to have a little bit more room on each side. You guys are going to be so impressed. Look what I decided to do today. I am going to put this here. I'm going to attach it in here. And this is 6x9. Now, I think the 9 inches might be a little bit much. I probably won't have anything that tall. But look, now I can stick that on there and I can see how far to the sides that I can have something sticking out as I attach my goodies in here. Are you amazed? Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm like trying to figure out, yesterday when I kept, putting it down to I put some masking tape on the workspace. Oh my goodness. And it was just so hard to keep remembering to get it down there and out of the way. So today we have got, okay, I don't need my scoreboard anymore, so let me move it. I'm just going to set it down here beside me. And I'm just going to dump my goodies out here. You guys, I put these all in a bag so I'd have them. And guess what? I came in here to get started and the whole bag is missing. Well, I find the bag and I find my strips that I've cut and everything. And then I realized the flowers are gone. Well, they had all fallen down. They'd fallen out of the bag and they were off to the side under something else. So I'm down on the floor trying to get all my stuff and make sure I can get on before we get started. So I've put together these little flowers, and all they were was I had a punch like this, and I did two, I did different colors of them, and I just went ahead and I brushed some color on the edges, and all I did for that was I just took my ink and just patted it on, and I just brushed a little bit all around the edge just to give it a little bit more definition. And I don't care, it doesn't have to be super neat. It just gives it, something else it just gives it more interest, I think. And I know some of you like to have distressed things too. Now then, for the centers, I first started out with just one dot. And I'm like, well, that looks odd. So then what I decided to do is I took the end of my stylus, and I don't know, some of you might already know this. You can take the end of a paintbrush or a stylus or whatever, and we know we can do this with paint, right? And so, but we don't always think about, anything else. Well, guess what? It works for ink too. Hey, Regina. Who else popped in here? Angie T's Creations and Designs. Missy, how are you? So, just dab it on there and put it in. But then, that looks kind of odd, right? I mean, it looks kind of fakey fake. And so just dot it around. Just keep dotting it. And then you've got, something that looks more like our little, the insides of a flower, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, but it gives it a little bit more interest. So there we go. So I just wanted to show you how I had done that. These came from my flowers from yesterday. When I started trying to figure out what I was going to do for some leaves, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't really have a good green color to go with this. And this was a color that was supposed to go with my my papers. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I found that, and I thought, oh, well, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. So I've got all these extras here, and I don't need those. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use some acetate. And you guys, save your acetate from packaging. Sometimes it's really sturdy and it's perfect. This is not. I had some, it's kind of a medium weight acetate that I bought to make some of my own stencils. And I actually, for using that, I wished it had been a little bit thicker. But, but I do have it, and it's got a little bit of heftiness to it. Now, I thought this would be perfect to show you today because, remember, I told you could use acetate strips to adhere your flowers for the pop-up box card we made yesterday. So I thought, well, this would be perfect to show you how to do that. So anyway, I was looking at these, and I thought, you know what? That doesn't look too bad with, now there's all kinds of leaves and they don't match. These are just fake flowers, so who knows what kind of leaf they were supposed to have, right? And so we can just go ahead and use these for the leaves. And I thought, well, that doesn't really look so bad for, the what we're doing, right? Oh, now what? Oh, I got to remember, here's my bee. I'm going to pet. So then I've got this little bee. He was actually a sticker, and I just put him on some white and cut him out. I just fussy cut him. I'm going to lay him over there at the side, at the base of my I don't even know what you call that, my camera mount, and then I hope I will see him over there, unless the fan like blows him out of sight. That'd be bad. Okay. All right. Oh, Angie is asking what kind of what I use to be able to have my workspace and then you guys still be able to see me. And I have people ask me this all the time. I use a software that's called eCam Live, and it's made specifically for Macs. And it can do all kinds of things. It can do way more things than I ever use it for. And a lot of times I might have to go back and figure out what it is that it can do and figure out how to do it because I haven't done it in a long time. So now we're just going to start putting our little flowers in here, and maybe we will put, I don't know, maybe we can kind of lay them out like this to start with, and then decide where we're going to put them and how high they will be. And then we'll fill in with a bunch of greenery. How's that sound? This one we might want to be a little bit, I don't know, kind of like this. See, I told you I didn't think that, and you know, maybe a 5x7 card, this might actually work for a 5x7 envelope. Let me measure up here because, well, no, because I may end up with some of the greenery coming out the side, so never mind. But let me see how far 7 would be actually. Yeah, see, 7 would only be this high. It would only be that high. So we wouldn't be able to get as much height as we will like this. So we'll put these in here. Maybe I'll put this one this direction. Then I had another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought I had 6, you guys. Well, you know what? Oh, who knows? Maybe I did have 6 and the other one might have fallen away down there. Well, 5. Never mind, because I like 5 better anyway. Because it's an uneven number. I like odd numbers for things. They're just, I don't know. We like to do them like that, right? Yes, and Kim is saying that that StreamYard has that same capability to show both. Except, Kim, can you let us know, when you do it in StreamYard, is it like side by side? It seems to me like I kind of remember that it's side by side. Okay, now we're going to take one of our strips, and this one we're going to, I'm just going to clip it off down here. I don't have a lot of rhyme or reason yet. But we are going to, let's just put some glue on here and get this going. And we're just going to pop that on here. Now this glue I use, I've told you before, is, it's called, you know, I'm going to put a little bit of green right here. Let me find something. Let's just use, and these, you can just make your own shape. But let's do that. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. That acetate, you can't even find it. Okay, so Kim says you can do side by side, or you can do a small picture. Okay. All right. I wasn't sure about that. Now let's go ahead and put a little bit of our green right here. And maybe, well, that looks kind of goofy, doesn't it? I don't know. You're not going to really see it. I guess I don't think it really matters. but I do like a little green in there. Let's just stick it off to the side. And that way we have a little green going on. I'm afraid as long as I'm going to take between doing these things, I'm afraid my little glue nozzle is going to get stuck. Okay, so now then, and I'm going to do this one to the very front. And that's way too long. It's sticking out the bottom of the card. But this way, actually, I think I'm going to give it a little bit, because you can bend acetate, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a bend right here. Oops, I'm off camera, sorry. I'm going to give it a little bit of a bend because that may help the card pop open when the person opens it up, okay? Now the glue I use is called reptile glue. And it works good on plastic, just like paper. It was actually developed to be used with tile, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just gonna hold that there 1 second. I don't know that I really like that green. You know what? Now that I put that crease in there, that's where the glue needs to be, is right in the middle. I can feel it's not, I've got it too bent, and now I can't get it to stick. Hey Melanie, how are you? Oh my goodness. Angie, I hate to hear you've had a problem trying to use Stream. It's never fun when we have problems using our apps, right? That is just not a fun thing. You guys, who knows how many eyes a bee has? How many eyes does a bee have? Hey Helen. I'm glad you're well. Okay, so there we go. We got that one in there. We gotta get going. My goodness. And so now I already forgot. I had to pick that up and I already forgot how my layout was. Maybe something like this. And then let's just put this on. I should have gone ahead and now I'm going to be right down to the wire, right? That actually is sticking pretty quick. And we'll just trim that off. And I'm going to pop this into the, and put a little bit of glue here. This is kind of hard because you can't really see where you need to put it right off. And I may end up with some sticking out the, just make sure you don't get it glued to the card and then do something to where you have your card glued together, right? You know, I should have put some of these on here under this. There we go. Let's just stick that there. That'll cover up a little bit of the acetate. Actually, let's put this there. There we go. Okay, so now, let me see if you can see. See how it'll just wiggle? I mean, you know, it'll be firm enough to be where it needs to be. And let's see. Let's tuck this one in here. I keep having trouble like seeing where my little acetate strips are. They just disappear. They're just all over the place. I'm gonna just gonna put this on here already before I glue it on. But yeah, I think this is a lot of fun. Wouldn't it be fun to get a little card like this? Well, I don't know. Now I got the green on, and that's just kind of goofy and in the way. Let's put it over here. What did I do with my strip? Oh my goodness. Okay. You know what? I think unless I'm needing this, I'm going to get this out of my way. But if you're coming on here late, the reason I put the paper on was because we were talking about that it would be able to fit on in a 6x9 envelope and still be able to be first class mail. Okay, there we go. All right. Maybe put these two here. We still got to get our B on, right? Maybe if I put this like this, this will give quite a bit of green back there in the background. But you just mess around and play with it and get it wherever you like it. I think if it's going to be up in the air, I'm going to snip this stem off. Okay, did anybody, yes, Deborah, you're right. They have 5 eyes. But they are like, let me see what it said. It was really interesting. They have 2 large compound eyes on the sides and then 3 smaller eyes on the tops of their heads. How appropriate near Mother's Day, because we're always telling kids we've got more eyes than we do, right? We always tell them we've got eyes in the back of our head. So that's our story, and we're sticking to it, right? Anybody who's a mom, or if you deal with kids, doesn't even matter if you're a mom, right? Doesn't matter at all. Okay, this is a little bit long. I'm going to glue this one right into the back, onto our back paper. So we, like I said, we've got the little strip we put in that we can put glue on. And then it's nice that it opens up here in the bottom, because then you can actually reach up in there and do whatever you need to there. And we're gonna have, boy, we're just right at the end, you guys. So Lisa's Craft House is on next. So we're gonna run over there and see what Lisa's got going on, right? I think I might just put this going up. Oh, here, let's put a little bit both directions here. And then we'll have our B coming on here. I don't know, can I do it? Oh my goodness. Our time frame is going to be up. Let me put it right there. So we've got it kind of off to the right. And kind of up and you know, these, I keep putting these on here like straight, but they certainly don't have to be straight. So we've got this, and we'll put it in here like this, somewhere up in here. We got to make sure that when we glue it down, it goes in here. And then our B, we got to get our B on, you guys, and I think the B is going to be perfect for right in here. We'll put that little B in there. Get him on there. You know, actually, I don't want to do that. I want something. I'm going to cut a piece down for the B. I'm not going to have as much. He's not going to weigh as much as the flowers do. And so let's just do that and come back. And you guys, I am going to be, before I knew I was going to be on today, I had already told people I would be on at 1 Central Time today to show how to make a custom sized envelope. And, you know, maybe this is what I will use for that today, is this little thing right here. And let's see, should we put a little bit more greenery? Let's add a little bit more green. Take that stem off. So I will be coming back. I know the event will still be going on, but I had already said I would do that, so I need to still come on and do that. So we'll just put this little bee right in here. And so that is our bee project, you guys. Our pollinator project. So Kim, this is such a fun thing to do, and I was glad I got to participate. I didn't think I was going to. I didn't get on at first, and then when they needed a fill-in, I thought, oh, cool, I got a chance to do it anyway. So we'll just put him right here. And then we've got all of our flowers in here, and I'm going to put some more greenery down at the bottom. But you guys, it's time to go see Kim. So run on over into Kim. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. But I do want you to go see Kim. And since I am recording this, well, maybe I'll stop and I'll just add it to the end. Or just go see. Refresh your page so you guys can find Kim, okay? Not Kim. Lisa. Oh, my word. It's Lisa who is on next, you guys. And I am just going to tuck this in here. You guys have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for coming. Thanks to all of you who shared me out, and I will go back and look at all the comments. If you have any questions, we'll answer those. You guys take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.